What up, everybody? Back again for another 350Z build episode. I know I said in the next episode we'd be doing the headlights and fender and fixing the rest of that crash damage, but it is time to change and flush all the fluids in this thing. The diff and transmission has been a year or two on a couple of them. Actually, on this car, I don't think I've ever done the transmission, so let's do that because that thing gets hot. But yeah, sorry about that. Next episode will be the headlights and fender. But yeah, I plan on doing just like a maintenance episode on all the builds so you guys can see what I run and how I change them all. The Mustang will be the next one. My shipment finally showed up, so I can finally change all the fluids. It's nice to be stocked back up again. Still need to get a couple things. I'm short a couple filters, but all my Ep.4 for the 350 and the JZs. HPS for the Mustang, HPS for the Prelude, and the KA until I can get the JZ in that one. But yeah, man, got all my trans and diff fluids, coolant's all stocked back up, power steering, brake fluid. Freaking hell yeah, it's a good feeling when this thing's stacked. Shit goes quick and it's fucking expensive, but I love having that thing stocked up. Got a couple more things to get, but yeah, anyways, let's dive into the Z, man. I thought this would be a fun one to make because, you know, some of these cars aftermarket, like this one, that'd be cool to just show you guys how to change the fluids with coolers and stuff like that on. So, yeah, and just so you guys can kind of peep what I run, but yeah. Oh man, went up to my house, grabbed my headphones, and my headphone case took a shit, so I can't charge my headphones, so I'm down here with no music, man. That freaking sucks. Also, sorry if I'm kind of all over the place on this one. It's just kind of a spur of the moment kind of video, man. I was like, oh, it's the perfect time, charge my camera, so I don't really have much dialogue thought out. But what I was gonna say, what I said earlier, we're gonna do the next maintenance episode on this car, the Stang, because you guys, I did a poll on the channel, 63% of you guys wanted to see more of this thing, so we're gonna get this thing all prepped up and ready, get it to some autocross events and do some cruises in it and have some fun with it. So that'll be sweet. But yeah, let's dive into this thing. Let's get into the Z, bro. We're gonna start with the coolant. We're gonna drain the coolant first, because when I fill the coolant, I'm gonna run the car after I've got it mostly full. That kind of just, you know, filtrates the, you know, circulates. There we go. Circulates the coolant through the engine. And then you can kind of just sit there while it idles and watch it kind of drain as the air bubbles the air pockets get forced out, and then you just top it off with the coolant once it stops, and then you don't have any coolant issues, no air in your system. But while we're doing that, that'll warm up the oil, and then we can do that while we're at it, and then we'll hit the transmission and the diff. I thought I had done the transmission in this one before, but I was wrong. It's the comp car I've done the transmission in actually twice, because that one has a CD09 in it as well, but the output shaft on it's all tore up from a drive shaft ripping, so I've tried to fix that with a new seal and some RBT. It slowed down the leak, but you know, we're just gonna have to get a new CD09 for that one. Anyways, I don't really mind anyways, because that one's really rough and I don't want it leaky anyway. So, but yeah, that's enough rambling. Let's get into this thing, nice. Alright, so I like to drain the coolant once a year because I do water wetter, which is 50-50 distilled water and, you know, water wetter. So I like to drain that once a year, so, you know, you don't get rusty buildup in your coolant systems and your block and all that. I try to stay up on that. It's another thing we're going to be doing with the comp car here soon is cleaning that whole system because it's rusty as shit in that one. So yeah, I want to avoid that in all my other cars, so especially the ones I'm running water wetter. But yeah, let's get up here, drain this thing. Let's get into it. Alright, I forgot to write down the miles, but we're at 84,911 on the dot right now. So now I can log all that down in my book of speed. But got everything we need. If I need to make some more water wetter, I will show you guys how. I'll probably show you guys how regardless, just for the video. But yeah, that's everything we need. The engine takes 5.5 quarts of oil with the Mission Motor oil cooler on, and But yeah, that's about it. Everything else is standard. CD09 takes 3 quarts. I can't remember the diff off the back of my head, but I mean, those two don't really matter. You just fill until they come out the fill line and then cap them. But all right, let's drain some shit. That's enough talking. Let's get into this. Forgot to take the cap off. There we go. I also kind of did that though, so I wouldn't just go fucking everywhere. So, works out. It's crazy how blue it still looks. Because I had engine ice in there originally before I switched back to water wetter. Some events, places don't like the engine ice, so switch back to water wetter, but yeah, stuff's still pretty blue from that engine ice. Pretty crazy. Should be pretty red this time. But yeah, just let that finish draining out, and then we'll get the fill in this thing. It's done draining. Put the cap back in. Now we're gonna fill the coolant up to as far as we can get it. Start the car, let it run, let it work all the air trapped out. Keep checking the fill level, and we'll move on to the oil, because then the oil will be hot when we're done with the coolant. Forgot about how it's got the little lip right there, so if you try to pour it fast, it splashes back up out of the bottom of the funnel and makes a mess. It's been about a year since I've done this, so I forgot about that. I've got that filled up, a little bit high. Didn't mean to. It's kind of hard to see with that filter, but that funnel. Got some in there. So now we're going to turn on the car. We're going to see how much that changes while the air flows out of it. And we'll keep adjusting. Alright, it bubbled up a little bit, but you can see how far it's dropped all the way down that tube. So a lot of open space. I am out of water wetter, so I have to make some more real quick. Kind of bad timing. I should have made more, but yeah, we'll just keep filling that up. This is the last of that gallon. It's kind of hard. I don't know if you guys can see it, but yeah, it's just down there bubbling around, getting all the air bubbles out, filling it all up. I like to do it this way because then you don't have any air pockets, no heat issues. Solid. Alright, unfortunately we got to take a quick break from that. I wasn't really thinking. I'm just trying to hurry through it because I'm freaking tired and have a lot to do still. But anyways, let's teach you guys how to make some water wetter. If you already know, just skip this part. But I like to do it by the gallon. So 1 quart, 1 ounce. So just 4 quarts of it, 4 ounces of this for the gallon. Good to go. That's a 50-50 mixture. That's what I like. So yeah, pretty simple stuff. There you go. Then you just gotta sit there, watch it bubble, drops down a little bit because it's just clearing out some of the air pockets in that motor, and then pretty much good to rock. There you can see it bubbling. Alright, coolant level set. I probably should have showed you guys, but it's settled back down to where I was happy with it. And we'll check it out the drift event too after we drive it around for a minute. But yeah, man, let's get into the oil now. Now that the engine's a little warm, the oil will flow out and not leave so many contaminants. You don't want to do oil changes when they're cold, just for kind of those 2 reasons. But yeah, let's get this into it. When we do oil changes with the oil cooler, I like to drain the drain bolt, and then before I do the filter, I hit the oil cooler lines, drain the filter, drain the lines, and then I pull the filter, put the new filter on, put the bolt in, hook up the lines. Unfortunately, the Mishimoto oil cooler is supposed to be upside down. I even asked Mishimoto about that, and they said, yeah, that's how it goes. So, fortunately, you can't really pre-fill the cooler because it's upside down. So, What I do is I put most of the oil in. I wait for it to hit the certain temp on the sandwich plate, and then once I feel these hoses getting hot and the oil flowing, then I fill it up the rest of the way, let it sit, and then check the fluid levels. But I mean, it doesn't really matter because I know exactly how much it takes, but it's just kind of the process with that. Yeah, let's get into it. God damn it. Didn't mean to do that. Fuck that up. Fuck, dude. I don't even know how that just fucking happened, but it happened. God damn it. Clean up that oil bolt real nice. Get it all shiny. There you go back in. Let that drain. Then we'll get these oil cooler hoses, then we'll get that filter. Let's pop this filter real quick while we wait for that to drain too. I know it's almost done. Alright. Just like that. Oil's drained, new filter's on. Now we just got to drain this oil cooler, which normally I don't have this problem because I don't normally have a bumper on, but it's be a little bit more difficult to do this time. Should have dropped the bumper first, fuck. Alright, lowered the car back down so I can take the front bumper off. Never had to deal with this before because I've always had a cut bumper here, so I've never had anything in the way. New Discovery, full bumper. You gotta take that out to freaking get to your oil fittings. I'm always sketched about stripping these things, man. Ruining the threads. I love these freaking Nishimoto fittings and shit. Yeah, most of the oil I just try to get out of the lines and whatnot just to try and keep everything, you know, kind of fresh, clean. So that's what I'm doing, is I'm just kind of turning these spouts and getting all the oil out of them. But yeah, then we'll clean up these threads, make them all nice, because this one's actually pretty dirty. It's got a lot of rubber and shit in there, so clean up those threads, get it back on there snug, and then we'll fill this oil up. It's kind of hard to see because this freaking dash bar is right in the way of those threads, but clean those up. Okay, we got those back on. Ready to lower the car, fill it with oil, and then start it running for a sec, get these flowing, and so we can get a proper check on the oil level. And every time you do this, always check these fittings, make sure they're not leaking. But yeah, I mean, you should check those every time you go drive technically, but yeah. Alright, so it's 5.5 quarts on the DAT with the oil cooler, so start throwing these in there, man. All my cars sip the perp, man. Ep.4 for the race cars, the full drift cars. It's just the Royal Purple's, you know, highest end oil. I guess you could say highest performance oil. It's really for high redlining shit, and works great. I love it. I've always ran a Royal Purple since I was a teenager, but yeah, I love this shit. I just put the HPS, which is the high performance street oil, in the Mustang and Prelude and that stuff, but all the JZs, so the Dream Car, Comp Car, and this, even when I LS it, we'll still run this stuff in it, just because I love it for that high performance rev limiter. Keeps your shit lubed while you're pinging it. Straight hammer fist. I love that shit. Ooh. Alright, let's start this thing up and make sure it's not leaking anywhere. And check the level after it cools. Alright, just gonna let it run for a minute. Kicked up the temp, so the sandwich plate opens up and fills this. Then when those start getting warm and I know the oil's flowing, everything's filled up, I'll shut it down, let it cool, let the oil flow back down so we can get an accurate measurement. We're also going to do the tranny, diff, and power steering fluid as well still, but I don't know how far we're going to get tonight because I got to go to work in the morning. I'm freaking tired, dude. I've been doing housework and shit all day, but we'll get this done. I got 13 days to the drift event, so if we don't finish tonight, we'll get it done tomorrow. So I got it kind of warm earlier when I was doing the coolant, so yeah. Oh man. These cars sound like shit. Fucking trumpets. I don't think mine sounds too bad, but on high notes, man, hurt your ears a bit. You go check that cooler, make sure it's flowing. Too much shit through here. Oh yeah, that's nice and warm now. Both the hoses have got some temp now. Hell yeah. So I'm gonna turn it off, let the oil settle, and then we'll check, make sure she's spot on, which I know she is, but fuck yeah. Also not seeing any leakage anywhere, so we are freaking solid, baby. Hell yeah. Always double check your hoses, man. Yeah, we just gotta let it settle. We check the oil level. Yeah, we'll keep moving forward. I'm also gonna take a minute to redo these zip ties. Those things have been hanging in for a couple years and they are loose and blown out. So I'm gonna touch some of this up a little bit again too. Get it looking good. There we go. Got that cleaned up, looking nice and snug again. All cleaned up. Even moved these hoses around a little bit, made it look a little better. But yeah, let's check this freaking oil fluid. Let's check these levels. What did I tell you, boys? Fucking, oh, my towels. Jesus. Money suckers. Yeah, perk. Thing's getting ready to shred, boy. Should be ripping again soon. Hell yeah. Oil level's done. Coolant's done. Let me check this power steering fluid real quick. What's it looking like? Not looking too bad. It's Pro line. We might skip that one. I don't know. I'll probably do it just to show you guys how. Alright guys, unfortunately it's already almost 9 o'clock, which means I gotta be up in like 6 hours for work, 6-7 hours for work, so I still got some stuff to do, so we're probably gonna call that for today, but tomorrow we'll come down, do the power steering fluid, we'll check the brake fluid, we'll drain and fill the transmission, we'll drain and fill the diff, we'll clean the outside of the car, clean the inside of the car. I'm gonna mount some wheels too, but that'll be about it. Then we'll be ready to rock, man. Oh yeah, I'm gonna check the air intake filters as well. Just kind of go over everything, check the brake fluids, and we're just gonna give it a whole one-off. And yeah, I just wanted to show you guys how to do some of this stuff and what I run. But hell yeah, pick back up tomorrow when I get out of work. Alright, what's up guys? Left work a little bit early so we can get back into the sea and get this thing done. Let's get into it. Alright, while I wait for the hassle to fill up, I'm gonna check the oil and coolant levels again now that they've been sitting and settled all night, so let's get into that. Beautiful. Coolant's perfect, just like how I knew it would be. Oil's already perfect too. Perfection, baby. I'm just gonna let that tank fill up, get this thing back up in the air, get to that transmission, and then we'll do the diff. Actually, I think we'll do the power steering fluid first, then we'll get the transmission and the diff. Hell yeah. Alright, so with the power steering, when I filled it last time was 2 years ago when I put this on, but I'm not too worried about draining the whole thing, because I mean it's just a seat timer and it's not too crazy. I know that power steering fluid in drift cars gets worked and it gets hot easily. That's why we run these, because power steering fluid can actually boil in drift cars. I know that's crazy, but it happens. So I'm not worried about flushing it all out. I just want to get the majority out of it. So we're going to leave the cooler on. What I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to clip these hoses one by one, and then drain that, put it back together, and then we'll fill it, and I'll show you guys how to bleed the system and get it pressurized. I'm sure the fluid is good in it, but yeah, this is just one of those things I want to do every year or two, and just keep everything fresh. But this is probably something I didn't need to do, but I want to do it anyways, just to kind of show you guys so you can learn something too if you don't know how. But hell yeah. Hopefully this goes well and I don't make a giant fucking mess. We'll see. That works pretty good. Hell yeah. I just hate these hose things. They're always such a bitch. Took me a minute to get that one. Got that all cleaned up. Reservoir's empty. Let's fill that thing back up, baby. Alright. Fill this up to your line, and then I'll show you what to do after that. Yeah, that stuff is so much cleaner, man. That shit that came out was pretty dark. Shit's been getting hot, so yeah. So I was saying it's been about 2 years, a little over 2 years, so it was due. In normal cars, you don't really have to do that until like 100,000 miles or so, but yeah, drift cars, man. Real hard abuse. Alright. I don't know how well you can see this on the camera, but hold on. Yeah, you can kind of see it, but I like it right there on the hot minimum in between the cold min and cold max. I like it right there. That's proper for me in my mind, but that's how I like it. Alright, so now that this is filled where you want, you don't have to turn on the car, but you need to turn on the power so you can use the power steering. And you'll sit there and bounce it all the way full lock both sides, and then you'll check the fluid after you do it a couple times. What that does is it forces the fluid into all the little pockets of the power steering rack and forces all the air back out to this, the fuel, and then you'll check the level, and then yeah, it's pretty simple stuff. Okay, so it didn't move much. Since we didn't drain the whole cooler out, I don't think we drained all the fluid out of the rack. I will check that again later on too. Normally I would turn it on and do it for a minute, but the neighbors are open and they're a business, so don't really want to open the gates and smoke it out in here and make noise. So we'll check that later on, but yeah, it's power steering. Let's throw this thing up in the air, and we'll hit that freaking transmission and diff. Alright, here we are under the car. That's your drain bolt right there on your transmission, and that one right there is your fill bolt. So, pretty simple. Same setup on the diff. For the diff, that's your drain bolt, and then your fill bolt's there, and your check bolt, your level bolt's there. Pretty simple stuff. Transmissions and diffs suck because, like, really the only way you can do it is get a pumper and just pump the shit out of the bottle and you're holding shit, and it's just a pain in the ass. It's not a fun thing to do, so let's get it over with. But yeah, this transmission is way overdue. I've never done the fluid in it, and this thing gets hot, drips, and the transmission does. That's also another thing I was going to touch ground on. When I put all the cooling equipment on, you know, the oil coolers, the catch cans, all that, I ordered a universal transmission cooler for the Z2 from Mishimoto, but I have not put that on yet. That's what's in that box right there. I also have some solid subframe collars and stuff for it as well that I have not yet put on, but eventually we'll get to it. That fluid actually looks really good still. That's actually really freaking clean. I wonder if they changed that when I had my clutch installed. My buddy that works in Nissan owns the dealership. He might have actually had him put new fluid in there. But hell, it's getting changed now. Yeah, that shit look brand fucking new. That's crazy. God damn, bro, I barely got that freaking that fill bolt out because this thing was in there. I wonder if they got Loctite on it or something. Good God, it snapped too. Hopefully it's not broken. It's just fucking, they probably just tighted that sucker in there. It's fucking crazy. That thing was in there, bro, stuck. I'm always paranoid with these kind of things. So easy to cross thread or fucking blow out these kind of things. And CDO9 is like a $3,500 transmission. I don't need another one because I've already got to buy two. Replace the one in that S13 and get one for the other S13. I don't need to buy a third one, so. Drain plugs out. Let's get this thing filled up. The diff and the transmission take the same fluid on this car, which is a 7590. I'm a purple guy, so a lot of people will run the red line in these. I run the red line power steering. Red line's a great company if that's what you want, but I just like purple, so. The color royalty, dog. You know my cars are all royalty. So the CDO9 takes 3.1 quarts roughly, so but you don't really have to worry about that too much because when you're filling, you know, your diff or your transmission, you'll know you're there when it starts coming out the fill hole, so that's all you're really looking for. But yeah, this job is a fucking bitch. I hate doing this, so let's get this over with. It's hard to sit there, hold that, pump that, and hold that into the thing all by yourself, but let's get into it. Before I put the transmission fill bolt back in, I was looking at it, it's magnetic, and I wiped it. There's quite a bit of metal on this thing. I mean, I know it's working hard in that second gear. Right now she's only a 2-striper, trying to get into the 3rd and 4th gear, but yeah, I mean, fuck. Eventually we're gonna have to rebuild this transmission too, but that's drifting for you, dude. It's hard on shit. Put that bolt back in and clean that up, move to the diff. Now I'm curious to see how bad this bolt's gonna be. This is the one I was waiting to check. I was not expecting all that metal on the transmission bolt. That's actually kind of upsetting, but I mean, it is what it is. I'll send her, but yeah. So the first 2 times after we welded this thing and I pulled it out, it was just coated in fucking metal. It's been about a little over a year since then, so I'm curious to see what this thing's gonna look like, how bad it is. Got to find out. Still pretty purple in there, not too bad. It's actually still pretty freaking clean, still pretty purple. But I just like to do that because of heat. I mean, it is a welded diff, but I just want my shit to last as long as possible with as much abuse possible. But yeah, as you can see that, now I got some of that oil up there. I don't know how well that's focused, but yeah, that's pretty bad, man. I don't know how well you can see that, but the side of the diff on this Z1 diff cover has 2 bolts. The top one is your fill, and then the second one is your level line. So you pull both those out, fill to the top, and when it starts leaking out to this bottom one, you're full, and that's when you cap it. Forgot to mention that you have to pull that speed sensor off so you can actually get to the drain bolts. That's the only unfortunate thing, but it's not a big deal. It's just that one bolt, and then you can access them. Here we go. That one came. diff, boys. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, boys. Getting down the list. Hell yeah. We're down to the little things now. So I'm gonna lower the car back down and keep going. Alright, we're gonna check these catch cans. I haven't checked them in about a year and a half. They were actually bone dry last time I checked them. This car isn't boosted, it's all NA, all pretty, it's all basically stock besides the cooling equipment, so, I mean, it's not really any need for these, but I just like to do that, make sure there's no water or anything like that returning into my oil, and, you know, just little things that keeps shit nice, you know what I mean? These were interesting to install because this was the first catch can kit I ever installed, and there's 2 cans and 4 hoses, so it wasn't the simplest thing, but I figured it out. I was actually pretty proud of myself. Ah, there's a little bit in here this time. Alright, let me grab a bucket real quick. Oh, I wasn't expecting anything to be in there. Let me go grab a bucket. Hell yeah, boys. Damn, that was real brown too for some purple. Wonder how long that's been sitting in there. An oil change or 2 ago. I do like these cans though, they're pretty simple setup. You know, you just do those 2 Allen bolts, lift them up with the hoses, you don't have to unhook any of that. You just unscrew the bottom of the can, same with the other side. Fucking pretty tits, pretty easy. I love simplicity, you know what I mean? Yeah, that one's still bone dry. Nothing in that one yet, so that's cool. I wonder why that one had some oil in it this time. Yeah, that was pretty nasty for being in there. Real brown too. Doesn't even look like purple, that's crazy. I wonder how old that is. Now we're gonna come over here, check these suckers out. Yeah, we're still golden on that stuff. Fluids still look good in there too, still look really clean, so we're not gonna worry about those. We are good on brake fluid. So, hell yeah, boys. These filters aren't looking too bad. They're getting a little dirty, but I'm gonna run these ones, and then at the end of the year, yeah, we'll get new filters or we'll clean those ones. But I think those are gonna be fine for now. They're not too bad, so hell yeah. Alright guys, that's most of the big stuff off our list. Only thing we got left to do is check under the car, you know, just check everything, make sure it's good. Rubber strands like tire threads ain't wrapped around anything, you know, that kind of thing, bolt check. We gotta clean the car inside and out because it's filthy inside and out. I mean, it is dirty as fuck, so we're gonna clean it and then throw the battery tender back on it, and we're going to fix the front bumper back up, mount that up good, and then she'll be ready for the next trip event. And gotta mount a couple tires too, but yeah, it's not bad, man. It's not bad. I'm gonna call it good for the night. I'm gonna go up and do some video editing before you guys, before I gotta go to bed and go to work. But yeah, freaking sick, man, coming along. So, see you guys tomorrow. What up, everybody? It's been a couple days. Had to finish editing a couple videos for you guys, but let's finish the Z. Was gonna clean it with water down the wash bay, but pops of stang is there in the way, so I really want to move it because they're open today, so the parking lot's full. So we'll just speed wax this thing, get the bumper mounted back up, get her looking good, and she'll be ready for the event. About to clean this side, and I realized I haven't pulled off my last 2 event stickers and added them to the collection, so we'll do that real quick. Oh yeah, there we go. New additions. move that out of the way. We'll pull this off, put this in front for next weekend so we can do all the work on this, and put the tender on that thing. That way it's out of the way too, so we can load it up on the trailer in a couple days for the drift event this weekend. But hell yeah, boys. Looking good. I don't mind the look of the new bumper, man. Doesn't look too bad. Fuck, I'm ready to go do some drifts. Alright, Stang's up here. Next project's getting that ready. But 350's ready. Just putting everything on battery tenders. Got the Stang hooked up. Make sure those didn't fall off. Alright. So I can't put that on the charger yet because I was gonna take the battery off. Took it out, so I'm gonna plug that in. And I take that off to go to the drift event, and then I'm not gonna worry about that one because that one's freaking dead, needs a new battery anyway. That one will plug in because I put a new battery in it recently, a year or two ago, so we'll keep that one good. But yeah, man, that's it. Ready to rock. Freaking see you guys at the drift event, man. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Like, comment, subscribe, all that, and until next time, the next maintenance video we'll be doing will be on this car. So. Stay tuned. KCYBC. Yeah.